Thank you very much for joining me today. It's me, Ken Levine, coming live once again from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I wanted to put together this slideshow to be able to help everybody out there. If you're watching this video right now, I assume that you're one of three people. You're either a OneCoin family member yourself, you were sent to watch this by a OneCoin family member, or you're someone within my YouTube channel who's either trolling my YouTube channel or just following my YouTube channel. Like, this is what I do. I get as much information out as I can. I plant as many seeds as I can and I let them sprout. So if this is for you, or if you're anyone, even including the trolls and haters, I truly hope that you find this helpful. The first thing we need to go over is the most obvious thing that everyone says. And you need to understand the reason that this is the most common thing said about OneCoin is this goes back to the original article on OneCoin. The very first blog I ever posted about OneCoin was calling it a Ponzi scheme. And that's why a lot of the people who have made blogs since this time or are just doing their own Googling then read this blog calling it a Ponzi scheme. So when you're faced with this, and this is actually, I'd say, not a bigger chunk of this slideshow, but out of the 30-ish slides, I think 8 of them are going over this. And the reason I'm doing this, though, is because first things first, people need to understand the difference between a Ponzi, a pyramid, and a legitimate MLM opportunity. And that's what I'm going to go over a little bit more here. But what the slide says here is, were you guaranteed a high rate of return? Have you been told cryptocurrency is little risk? Are we just collecting money from others? And that other question there, when someone comes to you and says, Ken, this is a Ponzi scheme, you know what your first thing you say to them? Do you know the difference between a Ponzi or pyramid scheme? And you just ask them that, just get that out of the way. But people who call us a Ponzi scheme, they truly are showing their lack of knowledge on what OneCoin is. Because you need to understand, OneCoin itself is a cryptocurrency, okay? When people relate us to either a Ponzi or pyramid scheme, they're relating it to our education, our MLM opportunity, okay? The sales of our education package. So One Academy is one thing. OneCoin is another thing. But when they come to you and say OneCoin's a Ponzi scheme, educate them to that. Oh, okay, I think you're talking about One Academy. And I think you're trying to call us a pyramid scheme. But we're going to get into this. And then I'm going to show you, though, what a legitimate MLM opportunity looks like and why I know that that's exactly what we're all on. And we need to be educating our friends and family to what a legitimate MLM opportunity is, because everybody's so blinded. They think just because it's a pyramid, it's a scam. But the reality is everything in life is set up as a pyramid. Everything. But moving on, they simply don't know what OneCoin is, or they don't know what a Ponzi scheme is. And the reason I say that is because a Ponzi scheme is when there's no product. There's no product. That's why it's like, as soon as someone comes to me and says OneCoin's a Ponzi scheme, oh, you're just, you get all your money from selling education packages. I'm just, oh my gosh. Okay, so there's my product. You're saying it yourself. You're showing you don't know what a Ponzi scheme is in your one sentence. So understand that a Ponzi scheme is this. When there's just money going from one person to another, you give me $20, I'm going to give you $30 back next month. You give me 50, things like that. Or you give me, or when it's structured like a pyramid, you give me 60, 20 goes to the person at top, 20% goes to the person at the you, and 20% gets sold to the person who sold the package. So there's different ways, but it's only monetary based. There's no actual product. So let's just get that out of the way. So when people come to you and they say this, just educate them to what a Ponzi is. And a Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment operation where the operator or individual, and this is, I got the blogs, feel free, click more information, but you can go read this yourself from the actual blogs themselves. But new capital paid to the operators by new investors rather than from profit earned through legitimate sources. So they're saying that there's no legitimate way where people are making money. Well, I'm sorry, when I'm selling you an education package, whether I'm selling you a car, a house, or an education package, I deserve to be paid for selling you it. If I'm in that business and I'm a salesman, going back to 11, I sold chocolate bars, to an adult, I sold houses, and everything in between. So I understand that, yeah, when you buy something, you usually receive compensation. So that is our legitimate source, okay? Operators of Ponzi schemes usually entice new investors by offering higher returns than other investments, or in the form of short-term returns that are either abnormally high or unusually consistent. So you're going to notice here, is anybody getting rich quick off OneCoin as far as, you can go sell 30,000 coins overnight? Absolutely not. OneCoin is not set up for a get rich quick. It's not set up as a pump and dump situation. It's one of the reasons why I love OneCoin. So, but this is another way though, how we don't relate to a Ponzi at all. But let's go over this a little bit more, because like I say, we really need to understand the difference between what people assume we are and what a legitimate MLM opportunity is. And the word there is legitimate, legal, good to go. Legal multi-level marketing involves being recruited in order to sell a product or service that actually has some inherent value. As a recruit, you can make a profit from the sales of the product or service. So you don't need to necessarily have to recruit more salespeople below you. While you may be encouraged to recruit other salespeople whose sales would give you more profit, you can stick to just selling the product directly to the consumers if you choose. That's OneCoin summarized. Now, the next point, a pyramid scheme MLM, because that's the thing. When it's product-based, it could possibly be a pyramid scheme. And that's the thing. Like if someone comes to me and says it's a pyramid scheme, they just need to understand how we're not. If they come to you and say they're a Ponzi scheme, they need to understand what a Ponzi is. Like you got to go to step one before you can even get into OneCoin. But anyways, a pyramid scheme MLM, however, will most likely sell a product with no independent value. The product could take the form of reports of some kind, for example, mailing lists. In this kind of pyramid scheme, you would be required to recruit new members into the MLM in order to make a profit and keep the MLM alive. Joining the MLM is the only reason anyone would buy the product sold by the pyramid scheme. So that's the summary right there. Like I created an account for my cat months ago just to prove how you don't need to recruit anybody, how you don't have to pay any other fees between your one-time fee for the education. Like it just, I don't know how else more to summarize this though, but you got the paragraphs there. There's what a multi-level marketing, a legitimate opportunity looks like, and that's what a pyramid scheme looks like. And let's go over this one more time. Legal multi-level marketing involves being recruited in order to sell a product or service that actually has some inherent value. Well, let's talk about the fact that September 21st, this year, September 21st, 2015, Princeton, Stanford, Berkeley, few of the top universities that are now selling cryptocurrency education for up to $18,000. So here I'm selling an education package that starts at $130, up to thousands as well though, because we have multiple levels of our education package. So that part, as a recruit, you can make a profit from the sales of the product or service. I can make a profit from the sales of my education. So you don't necessarily have to recruit more salespeople below you. This isn't about like, if I have, whether people underneath me are making money does not dictate if I can make money. Okay, that's a simple point. While you may be encouraged to recruit other salespeople whose sales would give you more profit. And yes, that's why I do want to build a team, because this is a legitimate MLM opportunity and I see the potential in that. You can stick to just selling the product directly. I don't have to focus on building a team. I'm about to do a 60-day project directly to my team. I could just focus on just selling the product individually. This is my choice if I choose. So there you go. Like I say, summarized, simple. This is, as I don't know what else I could say. But instead of saying stuff, let me share some other things with you. So again, you'll see, click more information. You'll see the links if you want to go see this yourself. Whether a program is a legitimate multi-level marketing plan or an illegal pyramid depends principally on 1, the method by which the products or services are sold, and 2, the manner in which participants are compensated. Essentially, if a marketing plan compensates participants for sales by their enrollees, recruits, and or their downline enrollees and recruits, that plan is multi-level. If a program compensates participants directly or indirectly merely for the introduction or enrollment of other participants into the program, it's a pyramid. So for example, if, when somebody does the even like the active, how do I word this the right way? Well, let me just move on to the next slide even because my mind's all over the place. Right out of Wikipedia, multi-level marketing is a marketing strategy in which the sales force is compensated not only for the sales they generate, but also for the sales of the other salespeople that they recruit. You hear that? I'll go again. Multi-level marketing is a marketing strategy in which the sales force is compensated not only for sales they generate, but also for the sales of other salespeople that they recruit. This recruited sales force is referred to as the participant's downline and can provide multiple levels of compensation. Other terms used for MLM include pyramid selling, network marketing, and referral marketing. People aren't Googling this though. They're Googling pyramid scheme, Ponzi scam, because that's just the negative mind frame, unfortunately. Let's go one more bigger blog here. And you can see right there, I got the .com. Fraudulent pyramid schemes, like Ponzi schemes, are illegal, but often try to disguise themselves as MLMs. Traditionally, MLM programs are legal because there's real product. You see that traditional MLM programs are legal because there's real product that is being sold through the channel. And then they got a nice little comparison chart. That's why I pulled this one up here. So MLM, what is it? Marketing strategy, pyramid scheme, fraudulent scheme. I like that summary. The setup of a good MLM. Commissions is paid to distributors at multiple levels when product is sold. No real product is sold in a pyramid scheme. Promise compensation. Enrollees are asked to pay money up front in order to enroll. Participants in an MLM scheme make money from enrollment fees and by selling products. Enroll in a pyramid scheme, enrollees are asked to pay money upfront in order to enroll. Participants in a pyramid scheme make money primarily from enrollment fees rather than by selling products. You see that here? Participants in a pyramid scheme make money primarily from enrollment fees. There are no enrollment fees. We're selling the education package. And there is an activation fee, but guess what? We don't make a penny off of that. Anyone notice that? We don't make a penny off of the activation fee, rather than by selling products. No, we're paid by selling the products. Legitimately legal. Pyramid scheme, illegal. Product, MLM usually uses a channel for selling tangible products, illegal. There is no product except a fake investment. And this, like I say, pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, whatever you want to call it. But there's a huge difference between a legitimate MLM opportunity and a scam. So all in all, we make no guarantees. We don't claim this is low risk. We are not simply collecting money. Our product is our education packages. We don't get paid enrollment fees. We get paid on the sales of our education packages. Selling the education is optional. Recruiting others is optional. And then don't be fooled by people who don't know the difference between a scam and opportunity. And I'm talking about the Google bloggers, the people that some call researchers. That's Ponzi pyramid, MLM opportunity. That's that part of it. Now let's move on to another big nonsense thing out there. Dr. Rouge's Forbes cover is a fake. We all heard that one. This one doesn't require as much time as the other ones have, but I definitely will share some information and make sure that we clear this up. Excuse me. Now, a simple fact. Brand Voice Forbes and Forbes are two different magazines. Okay, and the best example I always give is there's Sports Illustrated, and then there's the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated. Now, they're both Sports Illustrated, don't get me wrong, but they're two totally different magazines. So let's get that clear. So Brand Voice Forbes and Forbes, two different magazines. How did this all get created? A lady by the name of Jody called USA Forbes to ask about this magazine. And then those blogs that everybody is out there reading now are due to her going to the particular blogger we all know I hate. And he then turned it into a big blog. And then after USA Forbes had no clue what she was talking about. This is a very, very simple summary here, guys. A, you don't call a McDonald's in USA to ask what's on the menu at McDonald's in Europe. Do it. Feel free. Call a McDonald's in USA and ask what's on the menu in Europe and see if they're right. See if they know what's on the menu in Europe. B, Jody asked if she was on the front cover of Forbes, not Brand Voice Forbes. All right, so let's just call her Pretty Lady. If I call Sports Illustrated and say, yeah, it's Pretty Lady on the front cover, or if I call Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition and say, yeah, it's Pretty Lady on the cover, those are two different people I'm calling. C, I have videos talking about this on my channel after Jody blowed this up because I was smart enough to recognize the front cover. Like, I did my due diligence on this Brand Voice Forbes right off the bat. And D, I knew right off the bat that this was a glorified frequently asked question magazine in a sense, but it's still an honor that she had the privilege to take advantage of it. And this is the cover in question. Now, when I seen this day one, I wouldn't think of calling Forbes USA. Why? Well, A, I see Brand Voice. I do see the big name Forbes, but what I also notice is this is not in English. This is a different language. So that would be the first thing that I would do, is I would figure out where this actually publication is from. But what I did, and what I did do back at that time, is I Googled what I could Google. I Googled OneCoin Voice. I Googled Brand Voice OneCoin. I Googled Forbes. And guess what? Go do all of that. And you'll learn about Brand Voice Forbes, just like I did back then. What did Jody do? She called Forbes USA, and then sent a message to one of the bloggers saying, oh yeah, no, she's not on the front cover of Forbes. Yeah. And then we've been dealing with that nonsense ever since. But would you call USA Forbes to confirm this to be true or not? I, however, did my research on Brand Voice and knew exactly what it was. It is a paid advertisement in the magazine, yes. Did she get honored to be front cover of this glorified FAQ full of many upcoming businesses? Yes. And I would be mad if she didn't take this opportunity to grow our name worldwide. Now, do know, if you go to my YouTube channel, click that Ken Labine, or even just go to Google and put in this title and you'll find my video. Put in the title, put in Ken Labine. You'll see I got videos on everything. Everything that you see, I got videos on. Because it's just all nonsense. They're coming with nothing but fearfulness and assumptions, and I get to fight back with faith and facts. And that's why these videos are so easy to me at this point, because all these assumptions are just all the same. And all the bloggers are now just all saying the same thing, you know, and it's just complete, utter nonsense. And it's really sad. It's truly sad, because these are penny chasers selling advertisement space that are costing people, well, you know what? Actually, I won't even get into numbers, but it's costing people lots. People who could have joined me 11 months ago and was too busy paying attention to this, yeah, they've lost out a lot. But anyways, like I said here, feel free, go watch the videos on this. I go more in depth. I show our whole conversation with the lady. You know, she was a UToken rep. That UToken was a scam, and so she was a do-gooder, and she didn't know. I'm not saying she knew, but when she found out, she's a do-gooder, and now she's on a mission to make OneCoin a scam to make herself feel better for promoting a scam. That's the gist of this. But feel free, go watch the 3 or whatever amount of videos I have on this, and yeah, we'll move on. But all in all, some call it fake, as it never happened. Others say it's nothing more than a paid advertisement. It is a paid advertisement. But go see if you can get your name on the Brand Voice Forbes or pay the high fee it costs. Was Dr. Rouge on the front cover of Forbes? No. Brand Voice Forbes? Yes. And you guys can see the prices are as high as $300,000, as low as $75,000 to be part of Brand Voice Forbes. And this is, I knew this right out of the gate because, well, I just know how to do proper research, and I don't go believing what Google tells me. I do my own due diligence. And a lot of you people need to start doing that on your own too. You need to realize that Google is the furthest thing from research when it comes from online opportunities, because there's too many penny bottom feeding parasites out there that are just flooding Google, and they're the ones that you read on the front page of Google. The researchers don't get to the front page of Google. Bloggers get to the front page of Google. I want to show you a little bit more on Brand Voice though. Going back to November 2010, Cadillac was the first ever Brand Voice print column in Forbes magazine. So Cadillac was the very first. September 2015, the 100th person was Mercedes. Talking about January 2015, Brand Voice magazine spread and second cover. You guys hear I keep saying there's 2 magazines. Second cover expedition debuts with AT&T. Yeah, these are just minor names, eh? Yeah, Cadillac came and gone. Mercedes came and gone. AT&T came. Wait a second. No, these are all huge names still. And I'm honored to know that OneCoin is one of the people who were part of this. But you believe what the penny chasing parasites are telling you on Google. Let's move on. Like, you got to understand, the more blogs they can make, the more money they make. So they just, anything and everything, they go put their twist on it. And banks are warning about OneCoin. That's another thing that we got to deal with, right, OneCoin reps? Well, I got to say, this is my favorite one. Well, I guess when people come to me saying it's a Ponzi and I just know they know nothing, that's actually my favorite. But moving on though, banks have said cryptocurrency is high risk. Don't disagree. A, I say, okay, fair enough. Higher risk, higher rewards, right? Isn't that kind of the principle of that? And also B, I say, well, LOL. Banks are jumping all over this technology. And that's another thing too. Do your research on what banks are actually doing as far as cryptocurrency. They're saying things, but they're also doing other things. Okay? And a lot of times that happens. Something is being said while something is happening. And that's just, I don't even want to get into my conspiraciness there, but that's just how life is. So banks are jumping all over this technology, and some do warn it's high risk. But these are the same bankers who charge you fees to send money internationally and know cryptocurrency will be their direct competition. Okay? So understand that part of it all. And all in all, as far as this goes, because I really don't need to spend much time on the banks. Do you trust your bank? Ask the people in Greece who recently lost 10% of their bank accounts. Yeah, we all heard about the Greece thing. Not too much media was reporting on the fact that a millionaire opened up his account and had 900,000, or someone who had 3,000 then had 2,700. Yeah, everybody lost 10%. You don't hear people talking about that, but that's true. When that whole issue happened in Greece, that's also something that also happened. So like I say, how much do you really trust your bank with your money? You don't even understand how untrustworthy it is, but you keep trusting what a bank warning is. Ask many who pay ridiculous fees to send their bank money, send money. Ask many, do they feel their bank has their best interest at heart? Like, ask yourself this. Is this claim false? Nope. Banks are warning this can be high risk. Does this scare you? Because it just simply excites me. It does. It excites me. Seeing the banks fear this excites me. Let's move on. I'm just going to grab a drink. Whether Sweden, Thailand, Finland, what are the other ones I've heard out there? You know, you're hearing about this. OneCoin under investigation, blah, blah, blah. And this is the main one. There's been a lot of investigations that's come and gone, but this is definitely the biggest one. And that's why we're going to hit on this one. The NDI, and that's Finland's FBI, they wrapped up their 6-month investigation. Now, when the investigation was announced, during the investigation and after the investigation, blogs were made. Nonsense was said. Ads were sold. Pennies were earned. But after this 6-month investigation, do you see anyone in cuffs? Nor do I. Is it true that there's an investigation? Yes. Is it true that investigations lead to no charges? Yes. Is being investigated a crime? Ask yourself that. Is being investigated a crime? Like that classic expression, innocent until proven guilty. 6 months later, nobody was arrested. The NDI, their ongoing investigation into OneCoin is more or less how they worded it. And this is good. I'm happy with that. I like knowing that other people are looking out for my best interest. I trust what the NDI of Finland finds more than I trust what some loser blogger is saying. And call me crazy, but yeah, maybe you should start looking more into what these investigations are actually concluding. And then understand, there have been many active and past investigations into OneCoin. And when a company in its first year is not only the fastest growing cryptocurrency, but also the fastest growing networking marketing company, guys, we did over $1 billion of business in our first year. You hear what I said there? $1 billion of business in our first year. Nobody's done that before. Our biggest week, because we're now multiple billions, but our biggest week was 250 million in a single week. Like, this better get the attention of authorities. People should be looking into make sure that this is legit. And let me remind you, the first person blogger calling this a scam goes back to September 2014. There have been multiple police investigations in multiple different countries, and the biggest one, a 6-month investigation by the NDI, which they're pretty much the FBI if you're an American, of Finland, No one's in cuffs, but the bloggers can blog and they can call it whatever they want because they hide behind, I call them PPPs. Now I call some trolls that as well too, but they hide behind pictureless profile pricks. That's what PPP stands for. These are people who hide, they sit in their basement, they spew out their venom, and they sell their advertising space. And they fight. They spend more time to fight for the front page of Google than they do researching whatever it is they're talking about. Know that as a fact. Let's talk about this one. This one isn't talked about as much. I've only had it came to me a few times, but this one's a little bit more personal to me. You know, especially knowing that SIVA's headquarters is literally a drive away from my house. So this is a sad story, but it's true. SIVA Canada severs ties and they return the donations that OneCoin sent them. Now, people write their blogs and they do their things, and that's how this was brought to my attention. But what do? I call SIVA Canada. I call them as a concerned fellow Canadian, their neighbor. And I ask them, what do they know that I don't know? Because I'm telling my friends and family and I'm yelling this loud and proud. What do you know that I don't know? And guess what they know that I don't know? Nothing. They learned a lot from my conversation with them. But SIVA Canada is an organization who helps people with sight around the world. They accepted the first check OneCoin sent. They cashed it. After May 15th, there was the Dubai event. May 15th, 2015. May 15th, 2015, there was the Dubai event. They then got a big check. They got their second check. When they got this check, then they looked into OneCoin. And how did you look into OneCoin? You went to Google. And they seen what was on the front page of Google, just like you've seen it for the last now 2 years. Well, not quite 2 years now, but a year and a half. And they decided to then send back the money. But this is due to the loser bloggers, not OneCoin. SIVA Canada, and I told them straight up, they made a huge mistake. But I love what they did because they've done what they could do. You're going to see again, I have videos on this. I have videos on all of this stuff, guys. Like, go to my channel. If you read about it on Google and it's like stupid, or like if it's pretty much calling OneCoin a scam, I got a counter to it because there's no facts calling OneCoin a scam. And it's very easy for me to sift through their assumptions and opinions. And that's what I do. So anyways, though, but this one, though, I did, like I say, this was a different one because SIVA Canada is so close to home for me. And they had this on their website. SIVA Canada has no current relationships with One World Foundation or OneCoin. Well, shortly after my conversation with them, that was no longer there. So, you know, they did do, you know, I got them to watch some videos, and so I'm thankful for that. So I'm not saying anything negative. I feel bad for SIVA Canada because, well, there's a lot more people that they've helped with sites if they would have cashed those 2 checks and the other checks that would have followed by now. Because at that time, they were one of two that Dr. Arujah was donating through the One World Foundation. So, and One World Foundation is doing many other projects, but it's just sad that a Canadian one was a project, and due to Google and bloggers, and like even more reason why I hate the blogger that you guys all know I do, because he was one of the main people that they went to for their research, and it's sad. And me showing the blog that he also made about them is also another reason why they took theirs down, I assume, too, though. So thank you to him on that note. Another one, OneCoin exchange closed. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the dates of these blogs. Anytime you see a blog, I need you to look at the date. And anytime that OneCoin does any sort of maintenance within our back office, blogs pop up saying this. But like I say, remember, they just want a reason to write something. They want a reason because there's so many people following OneCoin right now. And every blog you go to is selling advertising space or doing self-promotion. Don't think for a second that person does 6 blogs a day from the goodness of his heart. It's how he pays for his food and for his friends and or for his family. Okay, so don't think for a second that they don't have their ulterior motives for why they're getting this information to you. And OneCoin is one of the biggest names online right now. Anyways, though, so reality, since I joined, Over 1.5 million people have joined. This is over 11 months. Like, some network marketing companies brag about having 50,000 members. I used to think that that was a big thing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I meet OneCoin. I'm like, whoa. But like it's saying here, 1.5 million people have joined over 11 months since I've joined. And it says there, I'd be more worried if there were never any updates. If they never did anything, if they never had to do updates, that would worry me. But the bloggers will blog at any chance they get. So any of them about this nonsense is times right around a maintenance update we are doing. And hey, they keep their blogs up, but so does our OneCoin office after the maintenance is complete. It goes up as well too, but they still make sure they make their money. Just like you can still put in today, Bitcoin, is Bitcoin a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme? And to this day, people still make money saying it is. Our back office is very complex with a lot going on. Like, there's a lot going on in our back office, and the simple-minded don't understand this, and it's just so true. They don't understand this. Like, oh, they're doing an update. They're bankrupt. They're going away. They're doing an update. This must mean that they're a fraud. Come on. But you go and you read this. There's the ads that he got to sell you why he's doing it, and it's complete utter nonsense, and it's just so sad. But there's that one. Here's another one. OneCoin reps not being paid. This is another one I don't need to waste much time on. It's completely false. Since May 4th, 2015, OneCoin has been my sole source of income. On May 1st, I had 8 different sources of income. Sorry, April 30th, I had 8 different sources of income. May 1st, I had 9. May 4th, I dropped everything and have been focusing on OneCoin since. And I'm not paying for, the things I'm doing with my family, or going on trips, or, just paying my bills, or being able to feed myself and my family. Like, I'm not using monopoly money to do this. Okay. So this is completely false that we're not being paid and we're not making money. And oh yeah, all the blogs that people are making money are just, whatever they call us, they're shrills, people just claiming to be. Yeah, no, you guys really need to wake up. So this is true though. This won't help convince your family. Hearing me say this, that, oh, I've been paid, it won't help convince them. Hearing you see it, like them seeing money be put in your account, stuff like that, that will help. But all OneCoin reps, we know this to be BS. So we just all need to start, just really clearing up this nonsense that we're not being paid, because it's just ridiculousness. Another one. OneCoin stole $200,000 from rep. This is another one that I got to deal with. See, and I'm assuming you too. This one we got to really just laugh about in ways. Because the same person who claims OneCoins are useless, who say that our OneCoins are they're nothing but a point, they're Ponzi, they're this, they're that, there's no value in them, wah, 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 wah. In this one blog, out of the 25 to 30 he's done, in this one blog, he lets our OneCoins have value. And his how he gets to 200,000 is because someone had X amount of coins times by the value of our OneCoin, and it equaled right around 200,000. Before I go on, I want to say we must remember we are buying education packages that Dr. Ruja is giving us the tokens to mine for the coins. We are given the coins that come in our package free as a bonus with our education package. Let's be clear. Now, what happened to Chris was he was refunded his Tycoon pack and told to take a hike. And Dr. Ruja took her free coins he got back. So in this blog, all of a sudden our OneCoins have value, and I love it because I like how, okay, finally in one blog I can agree to something. We both agree OneCoins have value, so woohoo. But it's just funny that the only reason he gives us our values because now he's going on the point that, oh yeah, because these were stolen. No, this is somebody who didn't follow our terms and conditions, breached our terms and conditions, I assume sent many nasty emails to OneCoin, and was told to take a hike, and had his 5,030 euro education package refunded. He lost his account. He lost his coins. Dr. Ruja took it back and told him to take a hike. Now, if you don't follow our terms and conditions, you can lose your account. Do read our terms and conditions. Know what you're getting yourself into. I'm sorry, but when I start a business that I hope will be a multi-million-dollar business, I do pay attention to the terms and conditions. And understanding and part of those terms and conditions is for me not to go bash OneCoin and do negative things for our coin. That's obviously something Chris misread or didn't understand. And he lost his account. And I don't know what's happened with that since, because there's only been the one blog. There's never been any follow-up to this. So I really don't know what has happened with this, to be honest, because even this is coming from the loser blogger that I read when, I know that people are sending this stuff to me. And so anyways, though, so yeah, moving on off of that topic, OneCoin abandons the USA. And this here, again, just shows a total lack of knowledge on the big picture of things. It just shows the simple-mindedness of some people out there. OneCoin was required to redo the paperwork for USA. Prior to September 17th, everything was good to go. September 16th, Dr. Ruja was giving away free property. Remember those coins I was just talking about? We get the tokens, you mine into the coins. Okay, well, in the USA, prior to September 17th, 2015, do your Googling research, put in these dates. Prior to that date, cryptocurrency was considered strictly as property for tax purposes. On September 17th, 2015, USA made an announcement that cryptocurrency is now also considered commodity. And commodities are things like wheat, coal, or gold, things that are used as currency. So this was a difference, from giving away a free iPhone property, I'm just saying property, not an actual iPhone, but property, to now giving away money in a sense. You're buying an education package, you're getting a commodity. Well, that required new paperwork. And on September 17th, USA changed this, so wherever it was giving away for property. Oh, pretty much simple, there we go. Again, don't be fooled by the simple-minded. And all in all on this one, like, this is real. This is me being a little bit of my crazy conspiracy Canadianness, but